Hey, everybody, listen, welcome into the building. And yes, we about to get on this train. Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to see you here. Robin, you punched that ticket. All right, guys, listen, this is Love. I'm saying Love and Marriage Huntsville because I can't wait to do that show. Let me back the train up for 1 second. We are recapping tonight. The Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? In OMG is all I can say. Let me bring the peeps into the building that got their ticket here. Hey, Robin.
Happy New Year, choo choo. Hey. Punch those
Hey,
tickets,
choo
everybody.
choo. Yes. Got that ticket. Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, E.
Hey Diva, hey Aunt Robin. I got my ticket and today is Monday, so we want to make sure we're remembering Shanquella Robinson.
Thank you, E. Thank you. Yes, and I'll talk about that. Let me bring everybody else into the building. Thank you for that, E. Hey, Curves, you too much right there. That's Deborah,
Yeah, this is
Girl.
Deborah. Hi,
You
everybody. I'm so
before
glad
the
to be
train
here.
pulls out.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
You start before the train pulls out. Yes. And Emmanuel, hey.
Hey guys, happy 2023.
Hey,
Hey man.
Yes,
hey,
happy
Daniel.
2023, everybody. So listen, guys, on Mondays until we get justice for Shanquella. We are going to dedicate a moment to Shanquella because today, we heard nothing. Okay, we heard nothing. And these six so-called friends that went to Cabo, Mexico with her cannot get away with this. So I wrote today earlier. If you watched on Netflix that Inventing Anna, she was the fake heiress from New York that swindled a lot of people, hotels, and out of money, claiming that she was really rich. Well, when they did that documentary, there was a journalist that worked for Vanity Fair at the time. She kind of followed and documented this story, and she researched the story really well. I actually wrote her today because she seems to like to investigate things. And I felt like, she would be a good person to kind of delve into this story and write about it. Also wrote to ABC News. They also need to do some type of documentary. If many of you remember when they did that R. Kelly documentary, many people felt like that's what brought him to justice, okay? Because they did that documentary. They felt like that people finally heard the cries of all of his victims. And so they're actually, ironically, there's supposed to be a second part to Surviving R. Kelly on Lifetime. I think it's coming on soon or maybe tonight. So we're going to have to watch that and, if we want to, and see what updates they have. Okay, maybe they have some update on Jacqueline, because she's allegedly missing. Her parents kind of don't know where she is, right? And so with that being said, we're going to make sure that we dedicate this thing on Mondays to Shanquella, show her picture, say her name, put it on your social media. We cannot let this go, okay? We cannot stop saying her name because this is crazy how it seems like there's no justice for Shanquella as of yet. Hey, Shan, are you ready for me to bring you up? Do you want your avatar up, or are you showing face in 2023? I can't hear you. I'm bringing you up.
Hey. I'm trying to get comfortable being on camera and stuff.
Well,
So I told my
Yeah.
boyfriend I was coming, but I'm not gonna be like, on an avatar. I'm trying to get comfortable.
Well,
Hey.
look at you, gorgeous. I'm glad you're getting comfortable over here with the Gray Tribe. You look absolutely amazing.
Thank you. So do
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you. So
Gorgeous,
happy
darling.
2023. And I'm glad
Happy
you're here and
2023.
you're on the train. Yes, justice for Shanquella. So, guys, we're about to pull this train out. Okay. And we're talking Real Housewives of Potomac tonight. I hope y'all got your ticket. Y'all know how to get your ticket. You just got to hit that like button, okay? Hit the like button. Chat with us in the comments, okay? Ah, there we go. There we go.
Thank you. Aw. Y'all
Yes,
are beautiful
yes,
too. Thank
yes.
you.
Okay. So, right, guys, we start out, okay, and
Thank
the
you.
scene is Matt, is Karen, and is Ray Ray. They go visit the venue, okay? They go visit the venue where Karen is going to have her event. And it's a comedy improv venue, okay? So it's like comedy shows usually happen there, right? And so Ray Ray, he shaded his own wife. He's talking about, yeah, you going to do your thing, whatever that is. Do you even know what it is that you're doing, okay? And they talk about, Grinder, and Ray Ray's like, what is Grinder? I don't quite know. But Michael is Michael the manager? Not quite sure of. Michael kind of does it all. He takes care of her candle line, her Grande Dame perfume, whatever she wants to do. He's like a 2-for-1. Okay, he does everything. I'm not quite sure he hit the nail on the head with this variety show she kind of had. But what do we think about the venue? About Ray Ray being, he's shady Ray Ray. He's a little shady. He get a little shady on the slide, right? So he's shady Ray Ray. And Karen, preparing for her show at the comedy improv venue. Shan, since you're showing that face today, I'm gonna start with you.
Damn. I thought I thought you were doing Love and Marriage Huntsville today.
Oh no, I'm doing Love and Marriage Huntsville tomorrow. We're on Potomac. You didn't watch Potomac?
No. I'm just gonna get down. I saw you live and then I came up because I thought you did Love and Marriage today. I didn't even watch it yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Shame on me.
Shan,
That's okay.
I'm gonna
But
go
we
to the
still-
comments.
We still
Shan was
okay.
dying
You
to
see the
talk about
comments?
it too.
Yeah.
Huh?
But
I told Shan some of us are dying to talk about it too. It was good. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about
I
that one
thought she was
tomorrow.
doing Love and Marriage.
Yeah, but you still look beautiful though. We
Amazing.
still love
Thank you. I'm gonna go in the comments because
Okay.
I didn't watch it yet.
Okay,
So-
sounds good. Sounds
I
good.
don't want to take up space.
Okay.
Bye, Ken.
All right. So Curves, what do you think about Ray Ray?
Ray. Y'all, Ray is starting to look like that old man in the back row of church. He's starting to look older and older and older, like poor baby. But I love when he shows his little piece of shade because it lands. And
Yes, it does.
was perfect. And yeah, Karen, what you doing? Do you even know what you're doing? Because we're going to talk about the show later. Do you even know what you're doing? That sounded like foreshadowing. I love Ray. And who is this Michael? I sure hope that Michael is not freaking Karen Stewart. Does anybody know that?
No.
What's
Wait,
that?
hold on.
Okay,
Hold on
so
one second,
Jen
Curves.
Shaw has a favorite too that helped her.
Oh, the Jen Shaw.
Oh, no, we don't
No,
want it.
no.
Oh,
We want
oh
that
my
to
God, no, we don't want that. Hold on one second, Curves. Tracy, I've never seen you before, so I'm the only one that can see. You're gonna have to show me your face first, and then I can bring you up. Then you can put your avatar back on. All right. Okay, you can put your avatar back on, and I'll bring you up. Okay, go ahead, Curves.
Yeah, so I just feel like Ray, we can always count on him, even though he looks like that little old man in the back of church that hugs too long. He looks like he might hug a little long. A little long.
Don't do that to Ray Ray.
It's fine. No, it's fine. There are little old men that hug a little too long. He does. And I think he might have made that comment because he's used to being the one always doing too much, Ray. It's okay. Let Karen have a turn. It's okay. It's okay. She got you.
Yeah, I think he's not used to being in the back seat and like kind of letting her shine a little bit or whatever. But the truth be told, Karen wasn't quite sure what her role was though either. But we'll let her go with that. Emmanuel, what do you think about Ray Ray? Leslie said, "Leave little Ray Ray alone."
Look, Ray and Karen together, they're so hilarious. It's super fun to watch them, joke around and whatever. Matt, it's okay for her to have Matt. I mean, the show ended up being super cool, and everybody needs some help.
Did you say the show ended up being super cool? Okay,
I
we'll
thought it
get
was pretty
there.
successful, and I thought it was also a pretty good venue, for it being her first show. At least she didn't get a theater or whatever. I thought it was pretty appropriate.
Well, Karen was strategic along with Matt, right? Because they had it at a comedy venue, and I'm sure most people thought they was coming to a comedy show that night, and comedy shows are usually jam-packed. So I think she was packed by default, but that could just be me, right? And then even production shaded her just a tad bit by saying the show was 75 minutes and she only did like 29 of those 75 minutes. But we'll get to the show when we get to the show. But Emmanuel, we're gonna leave you with your opinion. If you said it was good, I'm not gonna beat you down for that. Yes, he's part. Wait,
Yes.
Trina said you're part of the Ladams. Listen, Emmanuel, I'm a Ladam too. But when stuff happens, we gotta tell the truth and shame the devil, okay? Oh my God, Curves. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a member, Curves. So listen, when a Ladam, I could be a Ladam, but when you mess up, we gotta talk about it, okay? Tracy, you new in the building. What you think about Ray Ray and Shady Ray Ray?
Hey.
Shady Ray Ray.
I don't know about Shady Ray Ray. I think that the show, I think it would have went off with a great hit. But I think that Karen was kind of stalling last night.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, was it really her show or was she hosting the show?
That part.
I was confused too.
Yeah, that
Because
part.
she only spoke for like 26 minutes altogether
That part. Out
throughout
of
the
the
whole
75
show.
minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So it was a bit confusing to me. So, but Ray Ray, I like Ray Ray.
I like Ray Ray too.
Yeah.
He a little sly shady. He's shady Ray Ray.
Yes, he
What do you
is.
think about Ray Ray, Matt, and Karen, just touring the venue, trying to figure things out, figure out the layout?
Well, I think the one thing I will say, I'll start off on a positive. They got the posters right. The posters of Karen look absolutely beautiful. I love the posters. But I think that Karen and this producer, they have absolutely too much time on their hands and nothing to do. They should really divert their efforts to why Uncle Ben still has that Grinder app on his mind from seasons ago with Michael, because it seems like he's inquisitive to learn what's on the other side. How you doing? So I just really I listen, I love Ray. I think I agree with Curves. I think his jokes do land. But I think that Karen, if I could be honest, she's moving in the wrong direction. When I listen to regular interviews that Karen does, she's a natural public speaker. I think stick with that and stop trying to put on a show. That's when we lose the essence of what Karen or what she's trying to do. But unless she's going to put on a show with Ray, and we could talk about Grinder, that's the only time I'm interested in a Karen's and Friends production.
Yeah, Karen and Friends production. Yeah, it fell short. It fell short. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Robin, what's your thought? Ray, Matt, and Karen. Do you think Matt hit the nail on the head? Do you think Matt should get his paycheck for this production?
Oh, listen, that he got paid because there was a show. Not the work he did for it. That was his show, wasn't it? It seemed like it was his fantasy come to life. It was what he wanted to do. When he sat with Karen and started talking about it, I don't remember her saying what she wanted to present. He gave all the ideas and she said yes. So I think that was the win for him. I think that Ray is so funny. He made me laugh the whole time. He's he looks like he's like losing it a little bit, his faculties. He's a little slower. And then he's like the old man, but he's not the dirty old man, but he's a funny old man. And if you ended up sitting next to him at the church luncheon or something like that, You wouldn't be mad because whatever is going to be going on with the presentation would be so boring, and he's the one who's going to sit next to you and make all the comments and have you laughing. So I enjoy Ray, but I definitely did not. If you really look at it, nothing about that show made sense as relates to Karen at all, and that was also kind of funny to me. I was like, what is
Yeah,
going on here?
she was doing team too much because her concentration was just to be better than Giselle and Robin versus an actual blueprint for her own show. That's my opinion. Matt should get fired, Barbara said. Hashtag fire Matt. Karen could have did better. I don't know. Have her write a book and then do a book tour. But this whole situation, it was just all over the place. You had comedy, you had a drag show, then you had a Q&A, but we'll get there, okay? So now we got to talk about this scene with Mia, G, the kids, and Jacqueline. So it started out pretty nice, right? It was Mia, G, and the kids, and G was reading to the kids a nice, I guess, bedtime story. Not quite sure what was going on, but it was a nice family moment. And then ding dong, Jacqueline rings the doorbell, okay? And that's when things just went all kinds of sideways, and it was all kind of, subliminal messages. And it was like they were saying a whole lot, but trying not to say nothing all at the same time. So Jacqueline comes, she sits on the couch, and then, G's confused. Because I guess usually when Jacqueline comes, she's not in the middle. So Jacqueline was in the middle, and he was like, are y'all okay with this? Jacqueline's in the middle, and they all confused too, like, should Jacqueline move? Where do you want her? Okay, so that happened. Then Jacqueline and Mia talk about the whole a shower situation, right? And they like, what's the big deal? We shower together. But G thought it was a big deal because he said, Mia, you never shower with me. That whole scene was a mess, okay? Yeah, it went weird. Leslie, thank you. It went real weird. I was like, I had to sit up. I had to watch it again. I was like, what? Too much was going on in there, right? So now the three was so weird. Extremely weird, okay? So then he was like, you don't shower with me. G was jealous for a minute because, how my wife off on trips shower with people, and she won't even shower with me, her husband. And then so Mia and Jacqueline act like, you know what, showering together, what's the big deal? We're both cute. Well, I know a lot of people that find themselves to be attractive and they don't just be jumping in the shower together, but hey, that's me, right? So she's like, I don't know what the big deal is. We shower together and it's no big deal. And then Mia tries to explain why she don't shower with her own husband because he doesn't like the same temperature water as her. Good. All right. But anywho, let's continue on with this crazy conversation. Yes, Sheila, it definitely went left. Okay, 811, G didn't get the memo. Obviously, he didn't. So now, did you catch when Jacqueline was sitting on the couch and she kind of put her hand on G's arm? Did you catch that? I caught it. But anyway,
yes.
Okay, did you catch that? So now Jacqueline has to explain to us, the people, about this Porsche that was brought up, and Mia was the one that brought it up, right? So so Jacqueline goes, G, yeah, they brought up, they want to know if you bought my Porsche. But you just gave me the down payment, right, G? Because you love me and you knew that I was going through a situation and trying to get out of the situation and spending a lot of money. So, I was saying to myself, I try to make that scene make sense, right? And I said to myself, so you're spending a lot of money. You're getting out of situation and you're about to be single. The best car you can buy when you're about to be single, and obviously he had to lend you money because you were spending too much money, you didn't have it, is a Porsche, not a Toyota, I don't know, not a Honda,
not even
not
a
a Hyundai, I don't know, something. But the best car you can get when you're getting out of a situation and you don't have no money is a Porsche. Come on, a Kia. Come on, I'm trying to tell you. A Ford. I'm trying to tell you. The best car a Nissan. Come on. I mean, I'm just saying. The best car you can get. And if you need the help, maybe you don't need the car. I'm trying to tell you, catch the bus with the kids or something. But I was confused. I'm like, you don't have the money and someone gives you a down payment for a Porsche. And so then she tried to say, "You just gave it to me, G, because you love me, right?" And that's when G had to pull back and tell her, "Whoa, whoa, calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. I got it for you. I did that for you because Mia loves you." And did you see Mia's face? She was like, "Yeah, that's right. He did it because I said it was okay and it was cool." That scene was a whole hot freaking mess. It was team too much. It was a lot going on. And in my opinion, Mia, G, and Jacqueline, they did some stuff together. But I'll let the other people speak. Come on, a Buick at best. Come on, something. Robin, what
Yes.
about this scene? And what about the Porsche? Who bought that
Uh,
Porsche?
the company, that's why they were under review and got kicked out.
Oh,
Maybe.
oh,
That's a
maybe.
theory.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
theory.
Okay.
I feel a couple of things about this. First of all, it feels like they're trying to rewrite that story, and they keep
Yes.
presenting the same thing but differently. And you can't. I haven't kept up with, because I was convinced that Mia bought the car. Then it was muddy at the club, and now Jackie wants to assert and make it very clear: you didn't buy me that car, right, G? You just gave me the down payment, didn't you? Right? So I'm like, this is kind of strange. But I also am bothered by the sexual innuendo of it all,
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
their whole relationships, because they're really like teetering on the edge, and it feels like they're being, very provocative on purpose. And I said
Mm-hmm.
it last week, I said it, and I said it again this week. I feel like they're trying to get the rating for the show changed. Like how from not PG, not PG-14, they morphing into NC-17 territory, and I haven't been able
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what the end game is, what the purpose is, except for being provocative. And I agree. I think they all been together. Lots.
They all been together. You know what? They are playing games in our face with this story because Mia wanted to say she don't have no money.
Hmm.
When they was with the ladies and it came to the Porsche, but now G gave the down payment and Mia wasn't disagreeing.
See?
So she said G don't have any money to buy no Porsche, but yet now y'all together in the living room and G gave the down payment. What's going on? This is a mess. This is a mess. E, what do you think about this scene?
Well, the entire scene with Jacqueline and Mia just seemed forced. Like everyone is saying in the chat, they're really bad actors and they need an acting coach. Jacqueline, she lied. As soon as she said she was coming from work, honey, where do you work at? Driving a Porsche, where you can enter the building with ripped up jeans near your panty liner line. Jacqueline, let me have a word with you. Stop while you're ahead. If you were just leaving from work, then you must have just come from the back door from Mia's patio and walked around to the front door to ring the doorbell. The only person who comes across as likable in this trio is G. G is the only person who seems like he's not in on the scheme. I did see that touching of the hand, but I just want to think that G is just going along with whatever Mia is, and because he can't even keep his story straight. When he was asking her about, when how were the diagnoses at the doctor, Mia didn't want to answer. Like, I believe G is being authentic. I think Mia and Jacqueline, they don't have their scripts together. So I like to see them not come back next season, but I know we'll save that for the reunion.
Tracy, what do you think about this scene with Mia, G, Jacqueline?
Well, I wasn't even in the scene and I felt uncomfortable. It was very awkward.
It was.
Mia lied so much that she don't remember the lie she told you and how she told you the one she told you before she told you. I
Oh.
mean, she tells so many stories, it's ridiculous. So I believe that her and Jackie had been dealing with each other way before her husband even came into the picture. So
Mm.
even when she said that they grew up together,
Yep,
basically,
they did.
right? So they're sisters, now sister wives. because they share men. So I believe that it's been happening for a very long time. And yes, G is going along with it because that's his wife. He thinks that she's the most beautiful thing in the world. So he's going to back her up and support her in whatever it is that she do. So even if he knows she's lying, he going to back that up too.
He gonna back it up
But
because she agrees with his shenanigans.
yeah, exactly. But
She
then
agrees with his
wasn't
shenanigans.
yeah, but wasn't Jackie the one sitting there telling Giselle that she makes her own coin? And
Wasn't she though? But you know what though? It explains to me why Jacqueline was allowing Mia to treat her the way that she treated her on the trip, right? Because she
mm-hmm.
feels like she's indebted to Mia and G. She owes them. First, you said you had this
Wow.
parenting partner, but was he the one that you was trying to get away from, and G had to help you get this Porsche? Like this whole situation doesn't make sense.
You
It's
got to really
messy.
love somebody to buy them a Porsche.
Woo! Even to give him the down payment. I mean, how much of a down
Yeah.
payment did you give her? That's
Hmm.
the question right there. Emmanuel, what do you think about G, Mia, and Jacqueline? And how many showers is Jacqueline going to have to take with Mia to pay off this Porsche?
Look, right now that E said they need to get some acting coaches, I agree. You know how like in reality TV, like they're supposed to pretend like there's no cameras to make it seem natural? You could
Right.
tell that they were, doing it. They knew the cameras were there. But Diva, you mentioned when G said she loves you. And in that moment when G said Mia loves you, she said, Jacqueline said, and you don't?
Yes, she did. Yes, she
You
did. Thanks for
remember
bringing
that?
that up, Emmanuel. Yes,
Yeah.
she did. That
Yeah.
whole scene was a mess.
Yeah, so
She
when she
sure
said that,
did.
I was kind of confused. However, I saw a recent interview that Jacqueline did. She's no longer friends with Mia, but she said that the implication that Mia bought her a car really bothered her. She said that she didn't like that because she said that she has her own job, so that Mia doesn't take care of her. So I don't know.
It's a mess.
Yep.
It's a mess. Let the redeemed say so. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for putting on a great fun show with no cursing and vulgarity. It's slim pickings in these YouTube streets for a Christian woman. You want to know what's funny? Let the redeemed say so. I was speaking to Canelo, so we still speak all the time. Like he just, he has some stuff going on. But anyway, we speak all the time, and he was telling me that YouTube is actually changing the rules. And he was like, Diva, have you heard? It's going to be something with cursing, this, and the other. I said, well, I ain't got nothing to worry about. So that's probably why I ain't paying no attention if they did send me the memo. But you're welcome, and thank you for the super chat. Curves, I'm coming to you. What do you think about Mia, G, and Jacqueline?
Well, I feel like, I'm a very progressive kind of woman. You guys know that I've been to a thing or a whatnot in a club or two, right? And I kind of feel like Mia, I told y'all last week, I feel like they're playing with us. They are
Mm,
playing in our face, wanting us to get this kind of girl on girl, girls gone wild, kind of their fun girls picture in our head. But the way they're pretending to be salacious is like over the top and awkward. That forced
yeah,
frisky, don't force the frisky, you guys. Either you're sexy or you're not. You don't have to force it. You don't have
right.
to orchestrate seats on a couch where to the point where your husband's like, well, this is odd, honey. She never sits between us. You know what I'm saying? It looked like we
Yeah,
were witnessing Mia try to groom G of all people using Jacqueline by like trying to have their proximity close enough in front of a trusted person that, oh, you can trust this person too. And then the eighth housewife zooming in on sister wife Jacqueline touching G's arm. It's further
yeah,
lending itself to this whole awkward thing. But you see, Mia is the orchestra conductor. She likes
yeah,
to sit over there and watch, but she keeps saying that it's G that likes to watch. But I think it's Mia that not only orchestrates these things, obviously, we're seeing it, but she coordinates them and she gets other pretty women around and might mention the money, might put the lifestyle in front of them, and makes it okay. Like, hey, isn't it cool hanging out with me and this old man? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it was really creepy. It felt very groomy. I felt sorry for G. I'm surprised that Jacqueline would have agreed to this. Like, how bad do you want to be on a show, sis? If you're saying in interviews now that you were uncomfortable with this whole entire talk, implying that homegirl bought your car that you worked so hard for, that's like ridiculous. Why did you even agree to that conversation? I would have, if I was Jacqueline and that was the case, if I wasn't in Mia's back pocket, which it seems like she is, at least for this time, that she came on the show and Mia was like, okay, whatever I say, you have to go along with it. And if you don't, you're not my friend. So she defers everything to Mia. And then whatever Mia says, she's like, oh yeah, that. Did you notice? She won't answer a question like all the way without first checking what is Mia going to say. And then she 100% co-signs on that without correction so far on the show. And it's really weird to see. And I wouldn't want to be part of the freaking couch frisky situation. G looked like he was very uncomfortable, you guys. I think he might not be as down with the freaking threesomes and thruples and foursomes and stuff as Mia's putting on, because he did not look comfortable sitting next to her, did he?
Well, you know what I think it is? I think I do think G is that freaky. I do. I don't think he's so innocent, but what I think is G is not comfortable putting this on TV and putting it out there like that. I don't think he's for that. I think he likes their business. You know, he's old school. He liked their business to be their business. And you notice he calmed down a lot after he let loose. Remember that time when he was licking his tongue or whatever at Karen? So I think it's who G is, but I think, you know, a lot of swingers, it's their business. They don't want to present it to the world. Only people that know is the people that's doing the same thing that they're doing.
That signed the NDA at the party. That's the part who gets to know.
That part.
So maybe that's
and they keep it quiet. And if they see each other in the supermarket, they don't know each other. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So now here it is, Mia. Because she wants the dollar from the Real Housewives of Potomac, she putting all their business on Front Street, and I don't think he's really, you know, he don't know how to navigate it. And once they came for him that season that he did that to Karen, he fell all the way back. He's not really at all these events. You're not seeing him get pissy drunk and you know, acting a fool, because he's used to being around groups like that and being able to be free and everybody leave and our business is our business.
Right. Because he did.
Because he still slips up. He still slips up. You know this.
You're totally right, Diva.
Yeah. Remember when Karen came to the house, he said, nah, you ain't got to take your shoes off.
Right. And he was like, whenever he got that liquor in him, he was a fun time, huh?
Yeah, what? So guys, I am trying to get Jacqueline. We'll see how it goes. Okay. But that scene was a whole hot mess. And you know, everybody after they sign up for this, here's the thing. If you signed up for reality TV when it was brand new, I get it, right? Because you didn't know what you was walking into. But now when you sign up for reality TV and you act like you don't have a clue, you didn't know that was going down, like, stop it and shame on you. You had enough material out there that you could have researched and seen how this thing go down. And you could have DM'd one of these reality stars and say, hey, I'm thinking about going on so-and-so. Can you give me some tips? What do you think? So miss me, Jacqueline, I get it. But I feel like you wanted to come get some of that Real Housewives of Potomac money. And you sold your soul to the devil called Mia, and you getting what you got. Okay.
Is she official cast, as in, is she a friend of getting a check or a hanger on?
She seems like she's probably, you know, friends of get a check. So she seems like, Robin, to me, she's a friend of. And, you know, trying to probably become a potential full-time person. But I don't see that happening because, like, she's up underneath. Trend, don't start today. We're in 2023. Don't do this, Trend. Don't do this, Trend. Don't do this, Trend. It's 2023. Okay? He said, Mia research love and hip hop. So, you know, so yeah. So wait, we gotta get to this scene with the PYTs, okay? Which one of them I'm gonna call a PYL, a pretty young liar. Whole hot mess. So it's Ashley. is, I think it was one of them was named Jules. Is Deborah? Is it Deborah or Deborah?
The boy.
These are her three friends. Her three friends came to this little luncheon, right? That was out of control. And then they invited Giselle, because Giselle, they wanted to initiate her in. So they pretty much saying, this Deborah, she's 10 toes down, but we all know, because production put the little clips together. Oh, I like that better. Messy Young Liars.
I love that one.
Ooh, MYLs. They MYLs. I love that one. Messy Young Liars, okay? So they come together, they saying that they the PYTs, and Ashley, Deborah wants to talk about how Chris was flirting with her, coming on to her, and that Happy Eddie was trying to come on to her too. First of all, here's the thing, right? It's like with these ladies in these shows, it seemed somebody said Wanda from In Living Color. It seemed like these ladies, nobody can bring around their husband. First of all, Eddie is just a happy-go-lucky person, and Eddie doesn't even seem like the type of person that would be trying to flirt with anybody, at some party, and Wendy is there. Because Wendy is wa ta 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 ta. Okay, Wendy's not playing that. And then everybody now all of a sudden, Chris has been, how many seasons is the Real Housewives of Potomac, and when did him and Candace come? All of a sudden now he just flirts with the world. We never heard about this previously, but now this season, Chris can't seem to keep his eyes to himself, and he's flirting with everybody. What do you think about the PYTs? I'm going to start with you, Curves.
Oh, the people you think? Because they were just like a mess. I like that one that Homegirl said, messy young liars, because they knew they were lying too. Did you watch their faces when she was telling the story? That's what I was watching, was their faces. Because like Karen said, the 8th housewife was already going to tell us what really happened by showing it to us. The 8th housewife is editing, you guys. That's who they are.
Okay.
So editing was going to show us their faces, and all of their faces were like, Nobody believed her. She didn't believe her. That's why she couldn't really complete what he said, because he didn't say anything. It was all in her head.
He leaned like this.
He
leaned like this, but he didn't touch me.
Yeah. He was looking at me. He was looking at his phone. He walked past, didn't say anything. She was like, hi. Hi, I'm Daphne. I heard your name is Chris. My husband's name's Christopher. I bet you guys have a lot in common. And then she said that he said all of that.
That is, I think that's why people are dragging her literally for filth. For filth. Everything that she did, she claimed he did. But go ahead, Curves. I'm sorry. She's pissing me off.
My picture is an homage to her because Candace said that it was Sesame Street, but she was giving me more Vera DeMilo to me.
Excellent.
Right? She was totally giving us Vera DeMilo. She's too much, you guys. She's a liar face. Ashley knew she was lying, brought that lady to Karen's event to sit there and malign Chris. That's her husband, Christopher. To malign Chris, malign him, and try to get her airtime. My eyeballs didn't want to try to figure out were the eyebrows to cover up the forehead, or did they just bring more attention to it? I couldn't figure it out. And I'm almost thinking at this point that Ashley brought her on to distract her forehead from Ashley's. Because
my Lord,
everybody in that crew had a 5 head, pretty much. Go back and look, people.
Oh, you talking about 5-finger forehead?
Yeah.
I have one too. But listen, you know what though? Her lying personality is what makes her ugly to me. Yeah. It had nothing to very little to do with her looks. It had everything to do with her lying personality. Like, how dare you make that up? Thank God for the footage. And like you said, thank God for the eighth housewife, where this year they seem to be pulling together the facts and letting people know straight up is lies. They have never done this before. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it because before you would be left up to speculation, like, well, did he do that? Was that really happening? But now we get to see for a fact that it was not true, that she was lying on Chris. And that's a darn shame. That's a darn shame. Because you're messing with somebody's reputation in their marriage. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Who wanted to say that?
Exactly what we saw with Mia also. When she said her thing about Chris at the same event, he was all on her, looking at her, couldn't keep his eyes off her. They're crazy, you guys. I don't know who knows the term for what this is. That's beyond delusion. That's like, what is this?
Well, Mia has apologized for telling that story. She did come out and she did rectify that. And Candace has confirmed that Mia did call her and apologize for that.
Oh, that's
this
good.
is my problem with Candace. She's too forgiving. The Lord said to forgive and everything, and I'm watching it as I like listen to y'all. But these people have tried to really take you down. Like if I was Candace, Giselle couldn't come near me.
Right.
She could, like, ever since the Monique situation, she could not be my friend. Like I would always keep 3 eyes on that girl. And now it's like they really try to ruin your husband's life. Like he could go to jail. There's so much. He has daughters. Like it's not right, you know?
Yeah.
I would sue them for defamation of character because people love to sue. You know, the rich white people, they love to sue. If I was Chris, it's like you can't bring your friends around to lie on somebody when we see the clear evidence. He would win that case.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, Sean said, hold on, the lies. Come on, in the name of Candy, the lies, the lies, the lies. If you coming for someone, make sure you do it at a bad bitch o'clock. They all look busted. No bueno.
Right. And then she looks like a whole. Let me shut up.
No, you know, I think that Candace is forgiven because she knows that if she needs somebody to film with, right? So eventually you got to continue to work with these chicks. So you know how on the job you may not like somebody, but you figure you got to get along with them because you got 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours with them. So you just play along to get along. I think that's more what Candace is doing. Like she just picks her battles because she knows that they're vultures and they will totally ice you out. Because look how earlier in the season they tried to ice Wendy out of that whole girls trip and not allow her to make her money. So Candace is kind of playing, chess with them. But you know what though? Candace is learning how to play this game well because she told Ashley, I don't think so. I won't be talking to that chick. Okay. Not happening. Huh?
She called her Muppet or something like the puppet or a Muppet. She called her something.
She called a whole lot of things. So wait, we might as well add this scene, and y'all could jump in whenever y'all want. I'm gonna add this scene into it. When it was Wendy, Eddie, and family. I thought it was the cutest scene ever. Now this to me is what the Real Housewives of Potomac is supposed to be about. I think this is what any like Real Housewives show is supposed to be about, right? Seeing some scenes like this with the family, right? And her, Eddie, and those kids are absolutely. I love their family. I loved how the son dimed his dad out, saying, "You ain't trying to give mommy no donut. That donut was for you. You forgot about mom, and now you giving her your donut." He was sitting there looking, and I said, if you have more than one kid, you always going to have a kid like that. I wasn't mad at him. I thought that was so cute. The little sister choking her brother out. I thought it was cute. I thought that whole scene was so nice. And I liked the way that Eddie took, when Wendy told him, listen, this chick, I had lunch with Ashley the other day, and they calling you Happy Eddie. He was like, nah, not Happy Eddie. I smile at everybody. So, yes, I love the Osefo family time. I thought it was so cute. What do you think about, yes, and he got busted, okay? Say then when Wendy was sick, that scene was heartwarming. It was. Yes, he got busted, okay? What do you think, about that scene, Robin, with Wendy, Eddie, and the family?
I love that scene. And I say this, that's exactly what I want to see. It's so important because that is real. That's real. Some of this other stuff is not real. Putting on a show for show's sake is not real. You don't do that. These people don't do that in their regular lives. And I want to comment about the Chris thing, Chris and Candace. I'm happy about editing and showing the back footage. It's really important because, right, reputations are at stake here. And too many people believe what we're seeing. Everyone doesn't consider that these shows are heavily edited.
Right.
So I really applaud that. And the other thing about Candace is she has learned to play the long game. And it's so obvious that she has a plan. She's using her platform. She's getting a great return on her investment. She's doing a lot. She's done a lot off of the strength of being on this show, as well as, look, I got to give her props. This chick went back to school, got her MBA. She's touring. She's performing. She's touring. She's recording. She's doing a lot.
She's an actress,
she has that show coming out.
Hush.
Where's that now?
It's good. Yeah.
Rush. Is it Hush or Rush?
Hush.
Hush. Yeah.
So yeah, she's got a lot going on, and
well
she's not going to mess us up. I didn't particularly care for her throughout the entire run of this series, but this season, I'm Team Candace. Ooh, did I say that?
She's growing on us. She's growing on us. Wendy is growing on us. And you know what? They're showing their maturity level in the sense of they know the dynamics of these ladies, and they're maneuvering around those dynamics very well. Every now and then they may have a slip up, but they're not letting them catch them with their slip down all the time. And that's what I think that they're doing. Because even the way Wendy handled when Ashley told her about Eddie, Wendy was just like, come on, girl, stop. That's what we're doing now. Happy Eddie. She said, not happy Eddie. So I think they're learning how to do things with these ladies. Anybody else is Wendy Osefo family saying yes?
Well, I want to go backwards.
Sure.
When Curves, you brought up such an excellent point about, the eighth housewife and production. I'm sorry?
I said right on.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Because it took my mind back to Candy and Todd and that issue with Phaedra and Phaedra lying. Now, the Housewives of Atlanta never really exposed Porsche in the beginning for all of the lies that she told. They protected her for a long time. So I hope that they will continue this trend, not only in Potomac, but also in Atlanta, and take it across the Beverly Hills. We need to have this throughout all of the franchises. But I want to go back to Ashley and Friends, because that scene pissed me off. And that was the scene that I really wanted to talk about. Excuse my French. Ashley was, and I want to preface this just in case Sebastian is watching. Ashley is a nice looking woman, but her confidence is too high. She calls her group of women friends PYT, for pretty young things, but I call them PYT, pathological yuck mouth tramps. That's what you are. The garbage. No. The garbage which comes out of their mouth is uncanny. Ashley says she had the nerve to fix her mouth and say, my friends are not liars, right before she proceeds to regurgitate these false narratives. Ashley is complete scum. She's scum. Then what's more, she referred to her PYTs as bad itches. Well, they didn't look like bad itches to me. They just looked bad. Too much Botox. Hair was unkempt. The one black girl, the darkest one in the bunch, her weave wasn't even blended in correctly. Okay, if we're going to go there. And the fashions were from She by Sheree from 8 seasons ago. They have a lot of work. No, this is the truth. They have a lot of work to do if they want to keep up with the real PYTs on Instagram. It's a lot of healthy young competition out here. It's young competition and it's heavy. Lastly, The fact that they're still lying on Chris and Happy Eddie, and I'm
Mm.
using air quotes, after all these weeks, it shows me they have nothing else going on in life. They're sociopaths. And this representation of womanhood or sisterhood makes me not only, how can I say this? This, what they are putting on is what regular women do in Potomac. It's not only giving men reasons to find women to be distrusting, but also other women, it makes us find other women, uncomfortable, or we're unable to be vulnerable or supportive in all women's spaces. This is not good. Ashley and her friends are dangerous, they're delusional, and they need to suffer serious consequences for perpetuating these false allegations. Don't get me wrong, I can't stand Candace. And so, what Aunt Robin just said about Candace growing, I feel like this is Candace's season. She's doing outstanding, but no one deserves to be a blatant target of a malicious smear campaign aimed at someone's marriage and integrity. Enough is enough. And I just have to say, because I've given Wendy the blues ever since I've come on your panel, Diva. However, Wendy looked great all episode. Her confessional look was outstanding. Her scene with her family, Wendy looked great. Shame on Ashley. Take you and all your, what do I call it, pathological yuck mouth tramps with you and leave the show. You need to be fired.
That is fabulous, Robin. Leave it to you. Pathological yuck mouth tramps.
And
that was
E.
That was E.
Oh, that was key. That was excellent, E.
The day I can take somebody down like E, I'm gonna throw a parade for myself.
Oh, yes. Oh, but yes. Elizabeth said that was a bad. Yes, you are correct. You are correct, is Elizabeth. That was a bad first job interview. They got an epic fail. It was an epic fail. They got an F. I totally agree with you. Yeah, they messed up. Ashley told them to come over to Potomac and get this money, and she helped them fail. They did for sure. I was wondering, remember they tried to introduce us to, they did introduce us to Deborah earlier on in the season. They was trying to smooth her in, ease her in on us. Remember she came to Ashley's house? Remember she came to Ashley's house with her baby? And even what's his name? Little Dylan didn't want to play with the baby. He was like, nah, Dylan wasn't feeling it. He wasn't feeling that play date. Deborah, you right. Elizabeth, I'm sorry, but you get an F for that interview, an epic fail, and we don't want to see you no more. Okay. Anybody else before I move on to the next scene?
Can I go?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, I thought she looked like the Grinch who stole Christmas, Deborah. But it's not even about that. Like, I have met a lot of girls that are like her that you can't even talk, not even look at them, because in their mind they think that person likes them. They think that everybody likes them. So that's crazy. And we as fans, we know that Eddie and what's the name, Chris wouldn't do that. But I understand we can't really put our hands in the fire for them. That's why I'm so glad that the footage was shown to show that they are liars. I mean, that Deborah was lying. However, I would like to read a statement that Candace put out following the episode. She said, "You can't be happily married on this show. That's the rule. If you're happily married, they're going to come for you. They're going to attack you, and you just have to be ready with your marital armor," which we are. And then when she was talking about Giselle, she said, Real Housewives of Potomac is supposed to be about the real lives of the cast. So if Giselle or anyone else doesn't have a genuine story to offer, they should find a seat or the unemployment line. I thought that was great.
I saw that.
Wow.
I read that interview. Yes. Wait, hold on one second. Paige, thanks for the super chat. Diva, you remember Conway's Yes I Do and NYC? They got their fashion there. Yes, they did. Okay. Yes, they did. Irene, thank you for the super sticker. I truly appreciate it. You are correct. So you know what? I just think that it's a shame. I think it could be all fun and games, right? But although what is her name? Monique had her time on the show. At the end of the day, it was the same thing. They was coming for her marriage. She had her issues, but they was coming for her marriage. My thing is, I wonder how Giselle is going to feel when she finally gets a man and then they come after her and her relationship. She didn't even like it when she tried to fake that whole thing with Jamal. She was all up in her feelings when people was talking about that, but yet she still comes at people's relationships. And listen, we like the new Kenya Moore, but let's be clear. Kenya Moore came for relationships or early on Roa.
She was
And then
vicious.
finally, huh?
She was vicious.
She was vicious. And then finally, when she got hers, she was all up in her emotions about people coming for her relationship. And she did it for years. Did it for years. I mean, but I don't understand why this is their motivation. This is what they do. It has to be a better way for them to get their check. That's just my opinion. So do anybody else before I move on to the next scene?
No.
Okay. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Candace spoke the truth. That is how we know Robin and Juan aren't a real couple. Yeah, and rumor has it because of everything that he's possibly going through at the college that their their relationship is even shakier. Okay, if we thought it wasn't good to begin with, they said it's even a little more shakier as a result of everything that he's going through at the college. Wait, but Apollo did want her. She didn't lie and say men were trying to make advances, right? The thing is though, I don't think people should be getting too friendly with somebody's husband. Who does that? She was overly friendly with Apollo. And see, my thing is, I don't care how friendly a married man tries to get with me, I'ma shut him down. I'm not even playing that game with him. And a man and a woman can shut the person down and say, look, I'm married. That's not what we're doing over here. And I
Well,
don't know. Go ahead.
Well, to that point, you're right, Diva. I agree with you 10,000%. But Phaedra, she had some nerve because she was all up on Shamia's ex-husband and bending over, and she knew that Shamia was married to that African man. Phaedra couldn't wait to get an African man to buy her a house and buy her some shoes. So yes, they all need to leave each other's husbands alone. But all of them have messed with married men before on that show. Greg was married when Nene met him and she stole him. Kim with Big Papa. Phaedra with Apollo. She went to the halfway house to get Apollo. Now, Todd wasn't married when Candy got him. But who else is on there? I don't know. Peter just been a harlot for the longest time. And I can't remember who else is on that show that's married. But we have to, I don't like giving Phaedra too much because Phaedra should be in jail. With Apollo.
Well, the Phaedra thing was hearsay about Shamia's husband. That was hearsay.
2023, he is coming out the door popping. Do I think Phaedra had more to do with that Apollo situation? 100% I do.
Yes.
But today is about Potomac and we got to move on. I do not want to go down that rabbit hole right now.
Keep the train on track.
Let's get to this lunch. And y'all, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get to this lunch, okay? It was Mia, it was Robin, it was Giselle, okay? And Giselle told Mia, listen, Karen done told us all your good business, okay? She done told us that you had a flashlight looking up Jacqueline's hoo-ha, okay? And why didn't you tell us? And see, this was a major, now we know where all of Mia's energy came from when she threw that drink at Wendy. Wendy was speaking facts, okay? She probably knew what happened between Peter and Peter's girlfriend and Mia. She knew something about that whole situation, right? And that's why Mia got so upset and threw that drink. She tried to act like it was just over. Oh, she said something about my husband. No, she was speaking facts. And my thing is, own your stuff. You run your mouth too. So, and now that whole story with the girlfriend, Peter's girlfriend, that's another story that they put a whole remix on it to the point where you can't really figure out exactly what happened. So the Peter's girlfriend, Mia and G knew her first. She was in Mia's and G wedding. She kind of messed around with G the night before the wedding, and then she sung at the wedding. And then somewhere along the line, now her and Mia are not really that good of friends. See, here's the thing. Let me tell you, people can do what they do. But when you have another person enter into your relationship, it muddies the waters. It muddies the waters. And now we know too that her, Jacqueline, they had too much going on. Jacqueline was apparently in a relationship with G. And then you see the thing for next week. Mia and Jacqueline are gonna fall out. Having a third party in your relationship is problematic for most. Let's talk about this luncheon with Mia, Robin, and Giselle. Let's go around the room here. I'll start with you first, Tracy.
Okay. Oh, BS. That's what it was. Anytime they get together, they is concocting some stuff.
Yes.
And I think that it's unfair that Mia goes after anyone that repeats what she says when she says it freely. And she's
Right.
always talking about transparency.
Well,
So let me take y'all back a little bit because this has been bothering me about this
Come on.
other female with Peter, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay, I got to take you back to Atlanta. So, Sheree's fashion show. Everybody's there. They show a glimpse of Peter. They also show a glimpse of the lady that's sitting next to Peter, right?
Mm.
Now, do you guys recall anybody ever watch Love and Hip Hop?
Not me.
The episode where the girl was going off on Carly about her messing up her sheets, and she trying to tell everybody that
Yes,
her
Pooh.
and Carly them all did a triple, a thrup, or whatever you want to call it, right? That is the female that was sitting next to Peter
Mm.
at Sheree's fashion show. Does anyone else recall that scene? If they watched Love and Hip Hop back then, when it was
Yes, the woman's name is Pooh.
Pooh, yes. So Pooh is the woman that was sitting next to Peter. And I'm
Mm.
wondering if that was Pooh because Pooh was all into threesomes as well. Her and her so-called husband were swingers too.
Well, you pulling stuff together. It
Uh-huh.
could be. It
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
could. It could 100% be so.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what? Somebody else, I bypassed it. I was looking at it in the chat. Somebody else said, Mia, why are you getting mad about Karen repeating anything when you on TV talking about you done put a flashlight up
Mm-hmm.
Jacqueline's for JJ. So
Mm-hmm.
what else could be really a secret?
But she didn't get mad at Giselle when Giselle repeated what she told her. She didn't call Giselle out, but she called Karen out at her event
Ain't that
about,
messy?
yeah, about repeating what, she said to Giselle and them. Like, really?
Ain't that messy? Ain't that messy? So, does anybody have
Oh,
anything else to
yes,
say about this luncheon?
yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Mia is going after Karen because Mia has dirt on Karen. She has
Mm-hmm.
the what is this thing? Who's that woman we don't like?
Sharice, the real
Cherie.
reason, yeah,
She
the real
she
reason why she doesn't like Sharice. Yep.
she has that dirt. We're still waiting to get some more dirt on Giselle because the Jamal dirt has run stale. But in regards to this dinner, Mia needs to go back to massage therapy school. Mia, I love you, but you got to go back and you got to get some. What is that course that we had to take? Critical thinking, because you have to use your discernment and stop running your mouth to these chicks who are not your friends. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do any one-on-one scenes with Giselle, Robin, Ashley. And now I have to include you, Grande Dame. I wouldn't do a scene with you either. You ladies are absolutely terrible. And when Mia sat at that table and talked about her son's balls and scrotum, I said, no, she did not. Embarrassed that baby down to Bravo. And Robin started talking about her boys and their private parts. Not only are these women not to be trusted as friends, but you are not to be trusted as mothers. You betray your kids' confidence just to be on television. It's sickening. You know you have a mic pack on. You know your kids are in middle school and high school. Don't do that. I was not happy with that dinner at all. But that's all I wanted to say before you move forward.
Yeah, well, you know what? Facts. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that, but facts. Let's yeah, she said it. She said it. She said to go back and look at that lunch scene. Yeah, it was very weird. And all of a sudden now we're seeing the older son appear back in scenes. Maybe she worked it out with his dad. Because at first I thought maybe she wasn't allowed to show him anymore. But now I see that he's slipping back in there and she's showing him again. So again, they might have worked it out where he signed some paperwork so that he can be in the scenes. So let's get to this final scene, the Grande Dame's event, we're going to call it, because I'm not quite sure exactly what happened there. I think that Karen, once she hears that Giselle or anybody else in the group is doing something, like if tomorrow somebody announced that they was doing towels, a whole, luxury home line, Karen would be right on it. So Matt is really doing her a disservice, right? Matt just executes when she comes to him with an idea, but he's not coming up with any ideas himself of what Karen should do. He only put this variety show together because she heard that, Robin and Giselle was trying to do something. So boom, she's trying to do something. Candles. Oh, you doing candles? I was doing candles. Oh, this. And she came up, she started La Dame and all of that stuff because first Giselle started Anywho. Was that Anywho or whatever, Everywho or whatever she started? Although it fell through, that's when Karen afterwards started her whole, line of perfume and whatever else she was going to do called La Dame and exactly everything else, right? So now, what I do appreciate is now the reasons why they came is the reasons why they showed up, but at least everybody showed up to this event. And listen, I had a good old laugh when they showed the list of invitees and Charisse was not on the list. Okay, Charisse had the nerve to get pissed that she was, Everywho. Thank you. And Charisse had the nerve to get pissed because she wasn't on the list. But are you kidding me, Charisse? You know that you are public enemy number one. Karen admitted though this episode, because remember before she tried to act like she didn't have no situation with Charisse, but she admitted this episode, I believe in her confessional, she was like, I don't like her. Okay, so she not invited to none of my stuff. I don't like her. So she claims she was the Muhammad Ali of live shows. Well, I think Muhammad Ali, he has a very good record, right? I mean, she wasn't knocking anything out and knocking them down. So I'm, and I love the Grande Dame, but she was no Muhammad Ali of the live shows. I gotta find another boxer that she can maybe reference. There was 75 minutes of a show. She lasted 29. Muhammad Ali would have lasted all 75 minutes. She did outfit changes and was walking down the aisle. I'm not quite sure why and what that meant, okay? She had a Q&A. Now, I'm going to give this to Mia. We can like Mia or not like Mia, but she did the darn thing where she stood up and asked that question. Messy or not, she gave it to her at her own show, and it pissed Karen off. Karen lost her stuff up in that confessional and was cursing and everything. She was pissed at Mia. And the winner chicken dinner at this whole event was Candace. Candace being straight unbothered by Miss Deborah, whatever her name is. And even Ashley tried to really push it. See, Ashley, you know what? Ashley wants violence. Ashley wants a whole situation to happen. Because once Candace said, no, I ain't got nothing for her, Ashley kept saying, why you ignoring my friend? Why are you treating her like Jacqueline? Why don't you come speak to her? That chick actually had the nerve to even ask Candace herself. She was trying to get that check. She came up to Candace and was like, can I speak to you? Candace was like, no. Her and Dot got up and they went all about their whole business, okay? And, for Karen to brag that the venue was packed, I think I already addressed this. The venue was packed because it was a comedy show, and most comedy shows, they're very economical. I think you can get in for like $10, $15, $20, and then you buy 2 drinks and you're good. That's why it was packed, Karen.
Also.
Huh?
I said the comedy club was small, and they typically are.
Yeah, they typically are. Yes, they are. Yes, good for Candace. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Cameron is trying to do cabaret like Luann on Roni. Yeah, but at least Luann, she sings the whole 75 minutes of her show, even if she's singing with somebody else that comes up there and sing. No, Karen, you missed. But thanks, Sean, for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. So let's go around the room, talk about this last scene. Emmanuel, I'm gonna start with you. The Grande Dame. Are you a La Dame?
Yes, I think there were two winners in this episode. Candace.
Okay.
Because Candace did a great job, because she even said no thank you whenever that girl wanted to talk to her. Because if this would have been like previous Candace, it would have been her chasing Deborah. You know what I mean? But she did awesome. And then I feel like the second winner was Karen Huger. I think the show was a success because number one, it was packed. And number two, everybody was smiling, having some fun, having a good time. I blame editing for making the show look bad. But I think it was pretty fun.
So, okay, Emmanuel, what was Karen's job? She was the host?
Yeah, it was like she was, um, doing a lot of stuff.
You don't even know, Emmanuel. But see, you know what? You know what? She should have called it. She should have called it like Nene does when she goes on these comedy tours. You're just hosting. Just say you're hosting. Because even her Q&A, she was like, not ask me questions, you get to ask them questions. And they even seemed confused. It was like, oh, ask us questions. And then and then when she when there was one question that was asked about their 2022, Karen had to jump in and answer it because they couldn't even answer that. So no, it was a fail. And I love the
and then
Grande.
I also like that when Mia, she tried to be smart and asked that question, Karen pretty much said, Mia, well, this true, so shut up.
Yeah.
Okay. E?
Well, I have written for Karen on this panel before. Not today. I did not like what I saw on yesterday. But I want to start with what people walked in wearing. Can I start there, Diva?
Yes, you can.
Giselle is gaining weight, but she's still wearing last year weight clothes. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's time to go shopping and go up 2 sizes and hang up that invisible part wig. I'm sick of seeing that. How do you have a middle part wig with no middle part? Put it back in its package. Wendy looked absolutely great. I love Wendy's outfit and everything in the ponytail. Love that. I thought Candace looked great. I thought Robin looked well, I don't want to say Robin looked great. She looked presentable for what we have become accustomed to. Robin, hey, Royer. Karen initially said the show was going to be about love. And I expected something like the Black women on the conversation panels that they have on the Oprah Winfrey Network. That's what I thought Karen was going to do, something like that. Instead, what I saw was a karaoke type of situation with hot wings and ranch. I expected something. No, really, I expected something a bit more high class. The Grande Dame was not Grande Daming from what I saw. It was not in full effect. She wasn't activated. But one thing that what really turned my stomach with Karan was when she said, and I have it written down, she says, Mia needs to go away with that build-a-puss. Go finish that build-a-puss. And I was just like, wait a minute, Karen. After she has self-admittedly undergone several face and body cosmetic procedures, I felt like, and there's nothing wrong with cosmetic procedures, and Karen looks great, so I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. But don't use that comment to put another woman down. I thought that was in very poor taste. And I felt like it didn't behoove her, being the eldest woman in the group and always preaching accountability in class. Karen, that you just, we have to see what you do next week. Of course, Karen will win with me next week because I don't like Sharice, but this show, don't do that anymore. Just don't.
Yeah, you know what? That was wrong. I was trying to figure out what she was saying with that, but now that you mention it, now I know, because she was talking about her cosmetic procedures. Yeah, and Karen does have the nerve because she has them too. Yes.
I forgot to say something.
Yes, of course.
Something that caught my attention was that Robin didn't like that Deborah was there. Did you see that part where she told
I did
Candace?
notice
She was
that.
like, Candace, that girl's right there. I don't like that. I thought that was interesting.
Well, you know why she doesn't like that though? It's not so much of Candace. It's so much so that she is in bad relations with Juan right now, and she would definitely not like if somebody brought one of maybe a alleged person that Juan was seeing to an event that would tick her off.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it really had nothing to do with Candace because she goes in and out with Candace. One minute she's for Candace, and next minute she's talking about Candace. So you know, I think it had more to do with the fact that, you know, Juan, you know, everybody questions a little bit. Yeah. And Trent said he thought the Bill the Puss shade was gold. He said, I'm sorry. Okay. So I'll jump down to you, Roy. Yeah, hey. Can you hear?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Where
So
are
what do
we
you want
at? Where are
to add?
we at? Where
Well,
we at?
we're at the end, but you can say your comments on anything if you want.
Okay, well, honestly, y'all, this episode, I don't know if it's just this episode or I don't know if it's Potomac as a whole, but I'm kind of done. It was a struggle for me to get through this episode. I think the best part was kind of the scene with sorry, um,
Wendy?
Ashley and her
Oh,
friends. I think that's kind of when the
oh,
episode
the
kind of
PYTs?
because I just was like more mess, more like it just shows people for who they really are. And I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
interesting that they brought Giselle alone by herself. And we just see that really Giselle is the caboose that runs Robin through these Potomac streets. I mean,
Yeah.
Giselle is the cause of all of the havoc on this show. And I honestly, she can really go because I just feel like at this point, it's more about the havoc than the actual housewife of it all. Like, I love the family scene that Wendy gave us. I love that Eddie, comes in, plays his part, does what he's supposed to do, and minds his business.
Yes.
The fact that they tried to make accusations against Eddie, because he's just being himself, making smiles and just being his happy go lucky self that he is. Like, you can't even smile around these people. You can't even give a polite gesture without anybody trying to say or make an inappropriate comment about someone doing something. And I'm just so disgusted. And I think that's what's gotten me most with this Potomac season is the accusations of it all for everyone and everyone's husband. I'm just tired of it all. Like, where is the realness? Where is the raw? Where is the real life? Like, this little petty crap. Yeah, I'm just going. Yeah.
I know. We're over it. We're over it.
Over
But
it.
how did you feel
But
about the
okay,
Grande
so
Dame
was
production?
yes, okay. So I asked earlier in the chat, and I don't know if anybody's seen it, but was this a drag show? Like,
She was trying to pay homage to, I think she said it's Pride Month or something like that. And then she was
okay.
talking grinder. She was all over the
All
place.
over the place. I was
But
just so confused because Kira said that this was about love and had, we were spreading love, right? Like, and we were gonna laugh, and it was just giving a little bit of a posh posh of everything. Like, I was just so confused. I was more so entertained by the drama of it all that was going on at the table more than what was Karen was presenting to us. So I feel like Karen and her friend need to go back to the drawing board, just like Giselle and Robin, and they need to rethink this thing. I don't think this is for them.
Royer.
he said it was giving a high school play.
Yes.
No, Royer, you need to look at it as like a charcuterie board, like a little bit of everything, you know?
That's how I
Mm.
felt. And we were doing too much of the charcuterie of it all. Like, I feel like people have just taken the charcuterie board and they have just taken it way too far. Like,
Placed it
Yes,
bottom
it had.
and
You
butter.
know what, Emmanuel? You're trying to save her show, but here's the thing: we are all for We are all for them putting their hands in several pots and try to make their money outside of the Real Housewives of Potomac. But what we're not here for is the shenanigans and the shenanigans that you want us to buy a ticket and pay for, okay? This was supposed to be a night with the Grande Dame and friends. You went to a improv place, okay, trying to say that this is your show with friends, and it was a whole hot mess with no order, no structure, and nothing real really happening. You had different things mixing together that don't even normally mix, okay? Either you want to have me laugh, but then you don't have a Q&A at the end, and the Q&A wasn't even focused anywhere. It was all over the place, okay? So Matt gets an F. Matt is 2 seconds from getting fired because we have yet to see him pull together anything where it actually made some sense, okay? When she got inducted as the Grande Dame of Surrey County, where she came from, nobody was out there. Matt, what are you doing, okay? Now we got the whole, she got a table outside this improv place. I don't even see nobody out there really trying to sell these t-shirts and the candles and whatever else. But normally, if you go to a comedy club, you may purchase a t-shirt of the comedian, but this is just random here. Like, it wasn't even her audience that would normally be at this particular type of show. I'm so mad at Matt right now. We can go somewhere, find him, and slap him for just putting this little hodgepodge production of a mess together, okay? And then
I
her
feel
coming
like
down, dancing through. Yes, go ahead.
I feel like they took a open mic night down there and they just took over the show, and that's why there were so many people there, because like you said, even the crowd didn't even fit what Karen was trying to do. Like, girl, like,
They didn't even
no.
know her. They didn't
I'm
even
They
not
know
gonna
her
didn't
because
know
they
her. They
wasn't
didn't know
jumping
the
out.
people that was
One.
Yeah,
there. Like, no.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, the
They
tickets were
wasn't
only
jumping up out
$30.
of their seats like, oh my God, that's the Grand Dame, that's Karen. They wasn't doing that. No Ladons was at the venue except her friends from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Who else wants to comment on this last
Well,
Me.
wait,
scene?
wait, wait,
I
wait.
do.
The
I
Go
do
ticket,
ahead.
like the
wait, wait,
comment.
wait. The tickets were only $30, so they were cheaper than Giselle's tickets. I just want to point that
Hey,
out.
they paid for that.
Yeah, the tickets.
Hello. Can you hear
What?
me?
Well,
I
Diva,
thought that was free.
this a
Yeah.
question. This is a question
But
I have for Diva. If you had
yes.
to choose, to attend one, would it be the Reasonably Shady or the Grand Dame show?
Well, see, you asking me to choose from F and F, so go ahead. I'll take the Grand Dame. I'll take the Grand Dame,
Yeah.
Exactly,
right? But it's
exactly.
And
not
that's
like
So
the
you know
point.
what it sounds like
it's
to me?
like you like which rotten apple do I want? Okay, I'll take the Grand Dame. But
Yep.
the thing is though, they can do better, and you got to get some, like her own husband shaded her. Her own husband knew before we knew that it was going to be a hot mess. He said, "What are you doing?" Ray Ray said this. Shady Ray Ray. Shady Ray Ray said, "Do you even
Wait,
know what
Diva,
you're
I thought
doing?"
you were supposed to check
It
on
seems
she
like
was coming to
during
your area or something. And you were gonna check on
we
her
did that
ticket.
already. She
I
Oh,
they
what
don't.
oh,
happened?
that was for the shady girls. They've been come and gone. But you know what I think that
Look,
it just
wait,
hit
I'm
me.
gonna come. Wait, hold on, Robert. I'm gonna come to you. No, that Karen, I think, already passed through this area. If she comes back, I mean, I could, $30. I'm saving my money from Starbucks now. I'll go. But you know what I'm saying?
but
I'm a Ladom, but I mean, that wasn't like Ladom quality. That wasn't, that wasn't what I could have put together a better show for her. And now, I'm not even in the business of doing what
Well,
Matt
that's
does.
just the thing. She just put that together just to be
That's
doing
what Mark.
something.
Yep.
She just
Mark.
put it
Matt did
together
that.
just to be doing something, and that's what you got. But they seem to know and be familiar with the drag performer. Like the audience seemed like they knew who that was.
No,
Yeah, they
I
were
thought,
just
very excited about
entertained.
the drag performer.
They
well,
was
the
just
drag performer is
entertained.
very. She's a celebrity. Jasmine, a lot of people know
Yeah.
Jasmine. I think she was on
Yeah.
RuPaul Drag Race or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then
Mm.
wait, but did you see how production shaded Karen? It said zero budget for the song, zero
Yes.
budget for the song. Like letting us know
Major
that the
artist
Grand Dame production didn't even pay for that. Like
Nope.
that was just messy.
That's crazy.
Okay, let me
So
come
I
to
want to
Karen
get
really
this in
quickly.
real quick.
Yes, go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so I want to go back to the Build-A-Puss thing. I believe she was referring to um
Jacqueline?
Mia going up into Jacqueline with that flashlight when she was talking about build a puss.
I think she might have been talking about, because last season or the season before, Mia said that she had some vaginal stuff doing.
Yeah, she had it rejuvenated. But even
and something else. She said something else, like more than just a little average when they go up in there and do whatever. She was acting like she had some like real type of surgery or something.
she did, but my thing is this: even with Karen can be upset, but the thing is, Karen was wrong. And if you're going to be the Grande Dame and be the queen of these girls, accountability works both ways. The way that the car goes forwards, it can go backwards. So when Mia called her out, the only thing, what would have been a Grande Dame thing to do would have been able to say, you know what, Mia, I'm going to take you out for dinner, add something to my calendar, and we'll chop it up. You have my sincerest apologies. Let's move forward.
Yeah, but what disappoints me about her is she talks real tough and unprofessional.
Hold on, because we can't hear everybody. I will say this, and then I'm gonna go around because I want to get everybody in, and I'm gonna come to you where you're. I will say this: she's the Grande Dame. I do agree with you, E. You don't go. She lost her stuff. She lost her stuff in the confessional because she was so mad. She thought that her show was so high class, and she was mad that Mia came in there, asked the question that shut the whole party down. And Mia asked it really nice. She said, excuse me. Mia did the thing. Now, we are not the biggest Mia fan, but when it came to asking that question, she did the darn thing. And her dress was cute too. Roy, I'm coming to you, and then Robin, I'm coming to you next, and then Kirk. Go ahead, Roy.
So, excuse me. I was very confused by that question because it's so funny. At the beginning of the season, you know, Giselle was asking questions and talking about Mia, and it didn't seem to be, that huge of a problem then. And then you ran around and was talking about Candace's husband and what he did, and allegedly, he made passes at you as well. So if you can run around and tell people's business and make up stuff, what's the difference with Karen doing it? I mean, the hypocrisy of it all, the judgment of it all. I mean, did we forget? Last week you were just lying and saying that you and...
I ain't gonna lie. I did forget. You bringing back the facts, but that's why we need you here. Hold on 1 second. Mm-hmm. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Diva, did you see Martell go live on New Year's Eve? He was at Cherie's house, and she had a New Year's Eve party. He was lit. I saw some of it, and I was shocked. I was shocked because I really thought that their thing was a joke. I didn't know it was a thing. But yes, he was at that house. He was lit. Team too much for me. I couldn't deal with it.
Translation, you thought it was a joke, and now come to reality. New Year's, you know that Sheree really is that dumb. She is that dumb to get with Martell. So yes, Happy New Year's.
I thought they had broke up.
You know what? I used to be thinking that Karen is the Grande Dame, but the more I watch the show, she's no Grande Dame or nothing. Okay. I like her. She's very stylish. Come on. You can't walk around saying I'm the Grande Dame when all you do is just follow. Now, we all follow, right?
Who's she following?
Yeah.
Candles, live shows, everything. I'm not saying we all follow in some way. We all have a house. Everybody have a house. Everybody have this. Everybody have an Instagram. There's nothing wrong with that. But she's just self-proclaiming herself. I'm gonna need to see some proof of this Grande Dameness. Now, y'all gonna go against
Hold
me,
on, Shan.
but
Hold on,
Candace is the Grande Dame.
Wait, Shan. Hold on 1 second. I will agree with you on this, right? I will say this: if she was the one coming up with the ideas first, then yes, she would be on that pedestal of being the Grande Dame, because then everybody would be following her. But from what we see, every time someone else comes up with an idea, that's when she gets an aha moment. That's when she texts Matt as they're speaking to her. They're like, oh, you know what? And they trust her. We about to do candles. She's texting Matt, let's do candles. oh, you're having a show, a live show? Oh, I'm
Right.
gonna have a live show too. Meantime, she
Just
texting Matt,
quickly
let's do a
throwing stuff
live show.
together.
And
So
she
that's
had
not,
nerves to write
yeah,
notes.
that's
And you
not
know what?
Grande Dame
No
material.
one agrees with me, but Candace is the Grande Dame. She
Oh,
is
come on
using this
now.
platform like she will, like she. Why? Because
The
she's
train
young.
is shaking, Diva.
Y'all
The train
only
is
saying that.
shaking.
No,
Go
y'all
ahead.
only saying that because she's
Shaking.
younger than everybody.
Hold on,
Listen,
everybody.
Okay.
No, hold on,
no,
everybody.
Candace she's a singer, she's an actor, she's well spoken, well dressed, she brings something to the show. Come on, y'all
She
gonna
does
see it
now.
one day. And I will be
Now,
waiting for my apologies when
Okay.
Candace becomes the Grande Dame.
So, see, you know
but
what?
you guys
Shan,
have
we
to
need you to
agree.
drop at the next stop.
Time out, everybody. Time out. Grab the phone. Grab something. The train is shaking. We're 2
I'm
seconds
looking
from
at
getting
that
to thank you, Fifi. Turbulent.
I disagree with you guys because I think Karen.
Hear about the
Can I
crazy here.
speak?
Now, listen, let me tell you something. Let me put my glasses back on. Hold on. Okay, we're shaking. My glasses fell off. First of all,
Okay, there's a whole list as to why Candace is the Grande Dame. I don't care what y'all say. I'm gonna be on the train by myself, and that's fine.
She
Okay,
needs a couple more seasons to take that title because this is her first season where she's actually tolerable. But I disagree with you guys about the Karen, because I think Karen wouldn't have been the Grande Dame if she had went off on Mia at her show. She waited till they taped them confessionals later.
Yeah.
Now she had went off and been like, if you don't sit your behind down during the show when she was actually embarrassed, then that would have been something.
But
But
that's
no.
what disappoints me about her. She talks crap in her confessionals, but when she's in somebody's face, she doesn't do that. She chokes.
And it was no reason for her to talk smack in the confessionals because technically Mia was right. What Mia was upset about was what's her name? Karen blindsided her. You let the green-eyed bandit catch me with my pants down. I didn't know what was coming. Karen should not have done that. And I commend Mia because what she could have done was tell everybody the real reason why Karen is lying and not messing with Sharice instead of saying, okay, well, no, everything is good. I don't think about you, this, that, and the third. No, you mad and you've been mad.
Well,
And Mia
I don't think she knows because I think she would have
Mia
said it.
has to be questionable because she's not credible.
Mm-mm.
She's been caught in too many lies. So.
A broken
hold on, guys. Shan, you know I love you. You know I love you. But they're requesting that we put you on another train. Okay.
I saw that.
Shan got to get off on this stop right here, Garden. Unbuckle your seatbelt, Shan.
Wait,
I'll help you off the train.
Okay,
Candace ain't showing love, but she got more to go.
And you know what, Robin? Give her a refund. Give her a refund on that ticket. She got to go. She got to go.
So you know what I'm hearing?
If she was older.
Wait, hold on, guys. I gotta let Robin talk. Robin, give me a minute. I'm gonna let you talk. Thanks for the super chat. Tell the truth. Jizzy gave Karen the name. Karen ran with it, but Jizzy runs that show. Karen is country. Kurt is country. Karen is crunchy. Okay. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Miss Dot is the Grande Dame. Miss Dot. Oh my God. Y'all trying to the train on the New Year's is they trying to make the train crash. I mean, come on. Go ahead, Robin. What was you going to say?
Listen, it wouldn't be the Great Tribe if the train wasn't shaking. That's for sure.
Okay.
But what everybody is saying, it sounds to me like Karen does not have any focus. And the truth of the matter is that she comes behind and copies everybody else kind of speaks more to her not having a real storyline. Think about it. So I'm thinking if she wants to regain her self-proclaimed status as the Grande Dame, I think that she will be well placed if she really focuses on something. I mean, she's a Grande Dame. I would love to have seen her like maybe focus on some kind of philanthropy, some sort of community service, giving back to the community. That would separate her out. Because remember, Karen, they're not in the same age range. Karen's the older of them, and she needs to be leading by example. She needs to model behavior, and we'll get her the crown back. I'm sorry, Shan, sweetie. Candace is a hustler. She's doing a great job. She is using this platform well. but she hasn't reached a maturity level, and I don't mean in years.
Thank you.
I think that
Let
she
the
still
redeem.
is.
Let the
She's
redeem
still
say so. Thank you.
immature, but she's on her way. But she's far from being the Grande Dame of anything.
That's what I
Except
You
said.
know
her own
what's
daughter.
funny?
Wait,
I
hold,
like
hold on,
Karen.
guys. Hold on, guys. Because let the redeem say so. She's on the
Grand
train with
Dames.
Shan, okay? She said, girl, let's ride this out. They riding this out. Y'all really think that Candace deserves Grande Dame title?
One day y'all
We're
will see
going to
the
have to talk
truth.
about that
Not yet.
on a whole
And
nother day.
sometimes we ride the
Can
train
I
and the doors
ask?
open while it's moving.
Uh-huh.
Be sure to close down
Wait,
that door.
Can I ask this? You know how we
okay,
call
hold
Karen the
on.
Grand Dame?
Go ahead, Tiffany. Go ahead,
You
Tiffany.
know how we call Karen the Grand Dame, right? The Grand
Uh-huh.
Dame or whatnot. But you have to remember, Karen said that before she was just a housewife before she got on this platform. She never said she was doing anything. She met the black
Right.
Bill
the black
Gates.
Bill Gates, and he been paying all the bills. She been living good off of him. So now she's got this platform, and I think she's taking off because she is doing her thing, but she wasn't doing nothing by her own admission
She's like
all her life.
she's as good as riding a train that's shaking right now because she has no focus. The train is going. She's not sure if she's going north or south, and doesn't know if she's on the Acela, if she's on the number 4 train. She don't.
Well,
She
that's
has
what
no
happens when you get
direction.
started.
And
You know,
and
she's
even
zoom,
if
zoom.
let me make
Somebody
my
give me
point.
one
Can I make my
example
point,
of one
please?
Grand Dame
May
like
I
thing
please
Karen
make
has
my
done.
point?
I'm
My
sorry,
point
Robin.
is, thank you. My point is, you in this on this platform and in this arena, you can't claim this grand status if you ain't doing jack for anything outside of
That's what I'm
yourself, unless
saying.
you bring us inside and show us what you're doing in the home. So that's why I
Okay.
said it's important that she finds something to focus on. Because I mean, even if she just played up her Surrey County stuff more with something concrete and not just words, then that would give her an elevated status and it would separate her out from all this other stuff that these people are doing. She don't need a wig line like everybody. She don't need candles like everybody.
Well, maybe she
And
does because
that's
maybe she needs the money.
She was in Bloomingdale's or something. I can't remember those,
right.
one of them high end
North
stores.
Yep.
I think
So
it was
But can
hold
I
on,
North
say
hold
Shore.
on
this?
one second. Hold on one second, guys. Shan, you got another person on the card with you. Okay.
Thank you. The
They,
truth
Oh.
tellers, the
they
correct
agree about
train, the
Candace.
right
They,
And
train.
she agrees,
they agree about
or
Candace.
does she agree with me
She's
saying
not
she got
ready.
a ways to go?
I say that yeah, she does have a ways to go. She needs to give us 2 more seasons of what she's doing right now. She just started last season. She was talking about your mama and throwing lettuce. Okay, so she's not there yet. However, I think that Karen is the Grande Dame because Karen, you guys got to remember, Karen went through the storm with her and her marriage, getting dragged by these lonely people for the
Yep.
past few seasons. Tax issues, then Robin ended up having tax issues. Giselle was claiming he was cheating. They over there calling him Uncle Ben, and talking about she cheating. She didn't win. She didn't. She's paid her dues on this show because they was dragging her and Ray, and now yep. Go ahead.
Clink,
Mhm.
clink, 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 the bar of soap. You might want to go.
So we can all agree that Candace has the potential to be the Grand Dame.
Okay. Hold on. We got somebody new in the building. Okay, let's not shake the train. How do you pronounce your name?
L'Oreal.
L'Oreal. Okay, L'Oreal, what would you like to add to this conversation?
The train is moving right now. If y'all can hear it in the background,
Yes, we do. Choo
Candace is
choo.
not leading that train at all. At all. You must mean Candace's mother. Okay, because Candace not there yet. I do love Candace. I love her comebacks. I even loved her shoes, those kitten heels last night. They were everything because she knew what is this I'm going to, and am I gonna be hungry, and what is this? So I'm always here for Candace, but Candace is not there yet. I do love the Grand Dame. One thing I really loved about Karen was she said, "We have the Grand Dames. Do you have the Robins?" Straight up to that girl's face. That was everything to me. I said, "Oh," she said that straight to her face. And she couldn't do nothing but keep her mouth wide open because, yeah, no, you do not have a fan base, honey. I need you to have several seats. If anything, her coming out more and saying more has made us not like her even more. So yeah, but Candace, I love her, but she's not there yet. Now her mother, if they would show her mother more on the show, I'm sure she would say some things that would, may take Karen down a notch.
You know what we're gonna have to do next show? We're gonna have to define Grande Dame so that we can all get this straight. And then after we give the definition, we all agree. Then we're gonna say who is the Grande Dame based upon the definition that we agree upon. Okay, but we got to do
Ain't
that
no
next
question
time.
about who the
Are we
Grand
doing
Dame
a
is.
course?
Yeah,
Karen
Are we
Huger
doing a
is
course?
the
Are we
Grand
doing a
Dame,
course?
and
I
we're
did
gonna
a
leave
whole
it at
breakdown
that.
on that
Period.
before.
Karen
I'm
did
gonna go.
good
Hold
work
on,
for the
guys, because I'm gonna
community.
go around. Hold on, we need to hear everybody. I'm gonna go around, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna go around. We gotta close this thing. Now we're about to pull this train into the last stop, and y'all got to get off the train, okay? Y'all could go catch another train, but y'all got to get off the diva train. I'm gonna start with you, Robin. First of all, you're gonna just tell us who do you feel is the Grande Dame, and what do you give Karen's show from a scale of 1 to 10 last night? And everybody in the chat, you let us know who's the Grande Dame. We got Essence saying it's Karen. Okay, Robin, who you say the Grande Dame is? I'm not saying. I'm saying Robin. Robin, can you hear us? Okay, I don't know what happened with Robin. Okay, so I will move to Curves next. Who is the Grande Dame, and what are you giving Karen's show last night?
Well, we already looked up the definition of Grande Dame. I thought we did that here, Diva.
We did that, but we got to do it again, and then we got to all agree upon it.
Well, based on the technical definition, it is Karen.
Okay. And what do you give her show last night?
Oh, I'm in agreement with Emmanuel
because really?
It was packed. The tickets were $40 to $80. At least the next set of tickets are $40 to $80. They had to pay. They came, they saw. It was titled Karen and An Evening with Karen and Friends. That's exactly what you got. The people did look very engaged. And she did good for her first show. Now, it was a little quirky. Now, to me, freaking Mia standing up and doing that question was just more of Mia's need for attention, because the question was stupid, because she did not ask Giselle, why did you tell Karen about my girl on girl shower? So that was a stupid question to ask and waste her time at the show to ask a question. It was too much for me. And I totally agree also with Royer that I'm drained of Giselle's evil villainous ways. I'm just drained of her plotting on all these husbands. I'm drained of her not having a storyline. It's just like, some more. And now Ashley bringing 5 more people to like add on to like this low vibration anchor. Like, really? Like, can they cut it already? Because I want to watch the show, because I want to see what else happens. But I'm with Royer that like, when there's just going to be more orchestrated mess, I don't like that part. But
yeah, I don't like that.
And you guys know that I'm a brand new Karen convert. Like, I have not been a Karen champion, but it took Charisse, who I was willing to say may have been based off of her historical reputation in that city and, you know, networking and her socialist stuff over there. But based off the literal definition, it's Karen.
Okay. Emmanuel, who's the Grande Dame, and what do you give the show from last night?
Well, to me personally, the definition of Grande Dame is Karen Huger. So I feel like she is. The show, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Thank you. Okay. All right. You give the Hodgepodge show a 9 out of 10. Tiffany, who's the Grande Dame, and what do you give the show? 1 out of 10?
Karen, of course. Nobody else can take the title until somebody wins the championship. She will remain the Grande Dame, and nobody else on the cast can fulfill those shoes. But Karen, and I gave her show about a 7. I thought it was not too bad. Like, it was a little bit off, but people were entertained, is what I saw, except for the cast, because you know they like to be dramatic. But it seemed like it would be fun. I would have had fun, and for $30, I wouldn't mind, or free for a 2-drink minimum. But can I give the show itself overall Well, I don't have a scale, but it was cringeworthy.
Yeah.
The whole episode was just cringe, from Mia to Mia and the Jacqueline and the G to Ashley and her weirdo friends. And you know what? I'm giving Giselle a little grace right now, because I'm thinking Ashley is
No
being a
grace for
little
Giselle.
miserable. Little
Put her up to
miserable.
it.
Hold on, wait, let her finish. Let her finish.
Yeah, but I used to like Ashley, especially because I always thought that she was the underdog. The way her husband embarrassed her all these seasons, and she still kept coming. I mean, you know, they didn't just clown Ashley, so I always gave her grace. But now I feel like she's being a little miserable, nasty, you know, just a hater, like a bitter something by doing that and trying to just out this Chris and Wendy's husband. It's not. I mean, I would think she would be better because of what happened to her, how she got dragged all the time. And so you would think she would be better, but the whole episode was cringe. But I can't wait till next week. Next week look like it's gonna be good.
It does. What did you give Karen's show out of 1 to 10? A 7.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was that bad.
It was good.
All right. Royer, who's the Grande Dame, and what do you rate the show? The Karen show?
The people have already spoken. We already know who the Grande Dame is, so no need for me to go over that. And Karen's show, I am going to give it a strong 8. It was together. It was organized. You know, she had fashion changes. The people were entertained the whole time. The microphones were working. There was a full crowded room, you know.
Everybody
just things
knew her
were
name.
together. Everybody knew her name. It was organized. It was just put together very well. And even with Mia's disruption, with her immaturity, we still were able to get to the end and celebrate and laugh and love and dance as only we should. So as I said, I'm giving it a strong 8. And then for this episode, you know, I'm going to a 5. I'm going to give it a 5. I'm giving it a 5 because there is no authentic, nothing authentic that's going on this show other than Wendy and her family and Candace and her career. Everything else is just made up for the cameras, and I'm bored.
Good point, Royer.
The Don, thank you for your super chat. Miss Karen Huger is the Grande Dame. It ain't neck. All right. Okay. I think everybody in the chat, you know, the Grande Dame is winning. Okay. So who do we have next here? Tracy. What do you give Karen's show out of a 1 to 10? And who is the Grande Dame?
Karen is the Grande Dame. The show, I give it a I give it a 2. It was an epic fail on the delivery and the message. I mean, it was supposed to be about love, but I don't know. It was an epic fail. The delivery was not there. The message, I didn't get it. So, yeah.
It was
and
confusing.
We all know that Karen, too, that when she speaks, she's like a jigsaw puzzle. You have to put the pieces together. You know, it's like she be all over the place.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I give it a 2.
Okay. Sheila, thank you for this. I don't watch football. But you said Monday Night Football game temporarily suspended due to Bills player was his Demar Hamlin passing out on the field after a tackle. Oh my goodness. They had to give him CPR on the field.
He collapsed on the field. He collapsed. He didn't pass out. He collapsed.
Oh my gosh. Bless his heart.
I think you know, football is so it's a lot. I'm not a big lover of football.
Nope.
Okay, so who am I coming to next? Thank you, Tracy. So Shan, did I come to you?
You already know what I think, sweetie. You know what? You'll be surprised. I like Karen. I like her style. I like how she articulates herself. I like how extra she is. But we have to just stop giving out titles. You can't be a self-proclaimed. Like, I can't walk around saying I'm Beyonce. Like, you earn your title. And she hasn't been earning her title. She hasn't
Well,
been doing anything except following. To me, Grande Dame is a leader.
Mm.
I don't see any leaderness. And I like her. Karen, Wendy, and Candace are my favorite. But she's not the Grande Dame. Before, I was all for Karen being the Grande Dame and oh my gosh, da 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 da. But Karen hasn't been doing anything Grande Dame like, okay? And Candace has the potential to be the Grande Dame. Yes, she's younger, and apparently a Grande Dame is somebody older. But one day, y'all will be on my train, and y'all will see the light. Karen is the Grande Dame in the make. Not Karen. Candace is the Grande Dame in the making. Royer, fix your face.
I mean, like somebody said, I think it was
She has the potential.
No, I just want to taste. Thank you.
No, go ahead, Robin. What was you gonna say?
Oh, I sound like Shannon saying kind of what I said. She needs to lead and model. But I'll tell you, my impression is, and I'm still with her. Diva. Karen is on my train in my car as Grande Dame. The title. I would have given that if I could be at that show or whatever you want to call it. I'd probably give it an 8, and I would give it a 10 if I got a chance to sit next to Ray, talk smack, and drink.
Right on.
Listen, sometimes I will admit, sometimes a show can be a mess, but the person you sat with or was with made it all the better. So I get that. Okay, we got to pull in this train because we're running behind schedule here. Who did not get to speak their final words?
I didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
So for me, the Grande Dame is supposed to be someone who is in charge. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, the oldest, but someone that is high in rank. And so, for instance, in Atlanta, Candy would be the Grande Dame because she's been there the longest. She's the most affluent. But the definition is a woman who is socially prominent, respected, and experienced, especially one who is haughty and advanced in age. So none of these women on this cast can be the Grande Dame because none of them are respected, even on their own platform, because they disrespect each other, they disrespect each other's businesses, and they insult the public by putting on these mediocre shows and calling it grand. That is an insult. So Karen has this title by default. And typically in businesses, when we don't have someone qualified to take the position, we say they are acting. So that is what Karen is doing. She is acting Grande Dame until the position is filled with a qualified candidate. Because to you all's point, she is not leading by example. She's getting her hands dirty. We're going to see that next week. We've already seen the previews. Okay. And like Shan said, Beyonce doesn't walk around saying I'm Beyonce. It just is what it is. The people will crown you. And so because there's all of this, because all of this speculation is going on, she is acting Grande Dame. However, Candace will never be Grande Dame because she's too far in line. By the time Candace becomes Grande Dame, Meghan Markle will return to the UK and become Queen of England. So we can keep the hope alive. We can keep the hope alive. I'm sure Candace will hold a nice position. She'll be what Kenya is in Atlanta. Candace will have a nice position, but she won't be top tier because she's already come on and muddied the trail. She didn't come on with class. She came on getting dirty with pigs. So what I would rate Karen's show, I'm not going to rate her based upon Giselle's and Robin's show because I'm not going to say that you're great because I compare you with trash and your trash is better than their trash. No. No, I have to be honest. I'm being serious.
Can we get an amen?
So what I saw, and maybe I would have to be there to get the full effect, but based upon what I saw, I'm willing to give Karen a 5 because the people seem to be smiling. However, you don't call yourself a Grande Dame with a 75-minute show and you're on for less than half the time. That's not Grande Daming. People came to see you. You sit on that stage. You put on a show, you give advice, you answer the questions, and you get your team in check. When people ask your people questions, your people should be trained and ready to go. They should not be unprepared. So no, you get a 5 as far as the episode. I will give it a 5. I want them to fire Ashley. I don't want to see Ashley and her 5-head friend Deborah anymore. I don't want to see any of Ashley's friends, as a matter of fact. Get rid of Ashley, get rid of Giselle, get rid of Robin. Let's get some new blood. But as of,
And Mia.
I believe I saw it in the chat. Someone said that Giselle is running things behind the scenes and Karen is running things in front. I agree with that. Giselle is causing a stir. She has all of these people on the string. She's the puppet master, and Karen is out in the front with the center champagne glass. This whole thing needs to be torn down, and we need to start over from scratch.
Okay, well, L'Oreal, before we leave, is there anything you want to say? Because the train is shaking.
Yeah, I don't know. She might have dropped that mic. She might have dropped that mic right there. All I want to say is, what did Ray have on? So I think I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think she did what she came to do. She packed it out.
Right.
She didn't lie about what she was gonna do, really. Although she didn't explain it to the cast, but everything seemed to be in line. But she is the Grande Dame. Only person I believe could take her off the throne would be Charisse, but they don't show enough of her story, and I feel like she's just checked out.
Charisse. Oh my God.
Only because she was known. She's known in Potomac. She threw a lot of stuff, and if it's got to be someone influential and affluent in the community, I would say only person could be Charisse. Giselle haven't done anything. What have
I don't think Charisse lives in the community anymore, though. I think she lives outside of Potomac. I don't know where she lives.
I think Charisse lives in the champagne room. To be honest,
can you do me one?
Charisse is giving.
Can you please? I know the show's been on for a long time. I don't have any recollection of what Charisse did in the.
She was the wife of a NBA coach, and so
very prominent in the community.
And and the first thing is, this is a housewives show. They're all housewives, and they really weren't accomplished on their own. No one on the cast was prior to their marriage. I don't see that either.
Well,
Candace got it from her family.
You speaking facts right there.
Candace could, because she worked for the White House, didn't she?
Yeah. Thank you.
Candace and Wendy.
Can I say? Can I point out one thing before?
Take the throne.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I forgot about Wendy.
Charisse doesn't live in Potomac. You're right. She lives in New Jersey. She lives somewhere, but she don't live in Potomac. But let me.
And Donald Trump worked for the White House. What's that supposed to mean? Because Candace worked for the White House.
Well, that means she was accomplished on her own prior to marrying Chris.
It's more than Karen have done.
Well, wait.
Okay, hold on, guys. So listen. We're going to have to pick this up another day because the train is about to pull in the station and we letting everybody off, okay? Because y'all derailed the train tonight.
Wait,
Diva. Let's just say this. This, you know what? We can agree to disagree about this Grande Dame production. One thing I will agree on, they have to start somewhere. And if I go based on that, her start wasn't bad. Was it everything that she said it was going to be? But it wasn't bad. But we're going to need her. If she wants to have greatness moving forward, we're going to need her to get rid of Matt. Matt, I'm not one over here to be having people on the unemployment line, but you are doing nothing. You're not coming up with any original ideas for the Grande Dame. As a matter of fact, when she brings you an idea, you make a mess of it. You make a mockery of it. You make a mockery of this whole. Somebody got to mute themselves. I'm getting feedback. You made a mockery of this whole, live show that she wanted to do. You took 15 shows and you tried to make it one. Team too much, Matt. Pull back. Okay, edit. He doesn't know how to edit. Like, edit next time, okay? And then in terms of the Grande Dame, I'm not going to go down that road right now because I don't want the train to crash and burn. But y'all going to stop trying to take my girl's title from her, okay? Karen is the Grande Dame, okay? To even bring Charisse's name up is a joke to me. To think that, what is her name? Candace Candace just learned how to control her temper. How can she?
That's the point. Is she's growing. She's evolving.
Somebody wrote in
One
the chat.
day. He
811
said it
wrote
was
in the
Grande.
chat that the Grand Dame cannot be someone walking around folding tissue in a triangle and leaving sticky notes everywhere.
You gotta
But on the
wait.
cool
No,
You
you
know,
end,
gotta
can't
admit
have
that
Wendy,
feelings.
Wendy.
the triangle is
Some
very
can't have
grand, you
emotions.
guys.
Like, y'all kill me.
Wendy with the
You
4
can have
degrees.
emotions. Listen, guys, last stop, okay?
Yes, it is.
Everybody off the train. The doors are going to open. Y'all got to go. I love y'all. Tomorrow night, we're doing Love and Marriage Huntsville. That reunion, all I can say is OMG. Like, seriously,
Wow.
OMG, okay? To, what happened right here? So all I can say is OMG for, Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. It was what a show. And what, I'm curious to know what y'all thought about, what do you think about, and we'll talk about this tomorrow night. What do you think about Melanie after the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion? Now, I love Melanie, but I was
She
giving
was
the
acting
side
like
eye.
she was thinking she was the Grande Dame or something. I
Um,
mean,
I
she
was
was
giving her the
acting
side eye.
very, on a
The
high
ego was
horse,
blown
but
up.
she
I
looked really
loved
good.
it.
It
She
was
was
She looked
giving
really
high.
so
good.
nasty and so
Yeah.
rude
So
is what it was
rude.
giving.
I
She
said
It
my
looked
sister
was.
high
was
horse and
quiet
It
to
nasty.
them
was.
giving
Too
house
bad
But
for the
she
arrest.
looked
show.
amazing. She looked really good.
She looked amazing.
We'll,
She did.
we'll talk
All right,
about her
guys.
tomorrow night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.